church. I'm here in the youth room, which I thought was a fitting place to film this video because last week I was getting ready for our youth retreat that we had this past weekend. And on that retreat, our focus was the Lord's Prayer. And as I was getting ready for the weekend last week, getting ready for this retreat that we were having with the senior youth, I was getting kind of stressed out about all the details that I still had to work out. And there were lots of loose ends that needed to be tied off before Friday came. And I needed to prepare my talks. And while I was preparing my talks and being a little bit stressed about the whole process, I came across these words at the beginning of the Lord's Prayer and just got so hung up on them. It starts out when we pray the Lord's Prayer, Our Father in heaven. Our Father in heaven. And I realized that as I pray the Lord's Prayer, I'm praying your kingdom come, not my kingdom come. This is something that just stood out to me so strongly as I was worried about the weekend and worried about how much work I had to do. And God, it was like He was telling me, this isn't your work. This isn't your work. He said, this is my work. This is the work that I'm doing in these youth. This is the work that I'm doing in you. And just like when I was a kid, my dad sometimes would invite me to work with him. When I had a Pro D day or sometimes in the summer, and my dad drove a big truck. And as a kid, I remember I was so excited whenever my dad would take me to work. I'd get to climb up in his semi and sit up there with him as we drove around. And I got to use the radio, and I had so much fun. I cherished those moments with my dad. And in the same way, last week, God reminded me that He goes to work every day. He works every single day. And He was inviting me to come to work with Him. And as I get the privilege of working with the youth in this church, God gets to invite me, His child, along to work with Him. And I probably slow things down along the way. I'm sure I don't speed up the process of what He's doing. But He wants His children to come to work with Him and see what He does every single day and get a chance to participate in what He's doing. And so that was super encouraging to me this past week. And I pray that it's encouraging to you as well. That as you think about your week, be aware of areas that God's at work around you. In your own life, in your family, in your coworkers or neighbors. Pay attention for where God's at work. And then realize that as His child, He wants to take you to work with Him. And He wants to give you the opportunity to work alongside Him and see what He's up to in our world. And so I pray that you guys have a great week and that you all are just so aware of God's work in your life and seeing how you can participate with Him in the work that He's already doing. God bless you.